Nice and welcome to American culture. I apologize for the lint. I'm doing laundry. I just want to say something real quick, you guys. I have finally made it. The reason why I say that is because I understand that life as you know it is kind of like it's a movie. It's your movie. But you spend so much time trying to play a role in somebody else's movie that you don't really produce your own. And so things have changed for me. I am actively producing my own life, my own movie. And I came to the realization that I don't have time to take on a role in somebody else's life, especially if it is not going to compensate me. And there are a lot of times when people they're around each other and they don't characterize them well enough or high enough in order to get the greatest experience out of each other. For example, the other day I had somebody that were kind of like upset with me or whatever. I don't know why because I didn't ask, but I'll get to that in a second. They were kind of upset with me, and an older version of me would have immediately internalized that. Oh, I can fix this. I'm the problem. Blah 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 blah. But before I called them, I realized, you know what? I'm not the issue here. Your perception is I've been presenting as myself. It is not my problem that you can't see that. And so I'm not going to make moves to try to get anybody to see me differently. I have to recognize that the role you want me to play in your life isn't one that compensates me. So I'm going to leave. And that's what's fundamentally different. I had spent my entire life, like I said, trying to be in somebody else's movie and completely, almost completely neglected to produce my own. So the major thing, one of the final things that kind of like closed the door on the past was seeing things as they present and not characterizing them based off of a previous experience. A lot of people don't realize that they are looking for negativity everywhere that they go, and then surprising that life just never quite turns into what they want it to be. You got to stop doing that. You got to start seeing things for what it is and really asking, do I want to add this into my experience? For another reason why I'm kind of like having this conversation, I was talking to somebody about what happens when you get exponentially wealthy. Do you go back and take care of all these people that just didn't act like they liked you? And the answer is no. There was this People magazine article about this woman who had asked for help from several people. Then they all said no, and then she won the lottery, and people were calling her petty because she didn't want to buy people stuff and do things. But again, it's about perspective. It's about us being on the same frequency. You have to start asking yourself, when you're thinking about somebody, it's probably best to see them in a good light because people who are good will actually help you. If you've gone out there talking about how terrible this person is, diminishing them, and some of you men out there only seeing women as sex objects, if you've gone out there and you haven't seen them in a high, bright light, then why do you think that they're going to do things that somebody of high esteem would do? If you've been talking negative about somebody pretty much their entire existence, why would that person that you speak so ill of buy you a house or want to take you someplace or do stuff like that? So a lot of times the reason why you don't have the greatest experience of people is because you haven't characterized them to a point to where they're great in your own eyes. You turn people into nothing and then are surprised when you get nothing from them. I'll say that again for the people in the back. You cannot characterize people down to nothing and then be surprised that you get nothing from them. And that's really what's changed. Like I said, that's one of the final doors that closed. I was no longer willing to be in anybody's space that did not compensate me. And the other thing that I was no longer willing to do was mischaracterize people. I didn't have the fault or the brokenness anymore that I was saying, okay, it's you and this, you being this way can fix it. And so I'm able now to accept people for who they are and really see them for that version. There have been some people in my life that I even had to realize, I think I've mischaracterized you. And I've got to undo that so that I can see you for who you actually are and love accordingly. With that being said, you guys, I'm happy. Have a blessed night.